Hey there guys, welcome to the part 2 video of your Unit 2 review. So the first video you should have watched has all of this worked out. So if you have any questions on the first page of your review from numbers 1 through 16, watch that video first. This video is going to cover numbers 17 through 23, where it is multi-step equations. So these are the harder solving equation problems. So first, I'm going to write down my steps. So for multi-step, it's very, very important to make sure you are asking yourself, can I? For example, step 1 is, if you can, distribute. So asking yourself, can I distribute? Then, can I combine like terms? And remember, you can only combine like terms if they are on the same side of the equal sign. Step 3 is, get variables on one side of the equal sign, or get them on the same side. Step 4, get constants on the other side of the equal sign. Remember, constants are numbers, regular numbers without a variable. And then finally, step 5 is solve for your variable, usually by division. So you can pause the video if you need to copy down these steps. These steps are also taped onto your desk, so you will have them on test day. So we can start with question 17. So for question 17, first I asked myself, okay, can I distribute? Well, I see no parentheses, so no. So I go to step 2, can I combine like terms? So I cover the right side of the equal sign and only look at the left side. Can I combine anything on the left side? Well, there's only one m, so my m is going to stay the same. However, notice that you have a constant positive 1 and a constant positive 5. I can combine that. I can do 1 plus 5, which is 6. So I can combine like terms. On the right side of my equal sign, there's only one number, so it can't combine with anything. That's why I keep it the same. Step 3 says, can I move variables to one side of the equal sign? Well, I just have one variable, so I don't have to move it because it's already on one side of the equal sign. Step 4, move constants to the other side of the equal sign. Well, yeah, I can get this 6 to be combined with this regular 3, but they're on opposite sides of my equal sign, which means I have to use inverse operations. So the opposite of plus 6 is minus 6. What I do to one side, I must do to the other. My 6's cancel out, which is great, because now I have m by itself. And then 3 minus 6, be careful, is negative 3, because you are taking away more than you have. Number 18, you start over again with your steps. Ask your first question, can I distribute? Yes, because this time we see parentheses. So I'm going to draw my double arrows. And I'm going to do negative 2, remember distribution means multiply, negative 2 times 1, which is negative 2, but also negative 2 times positive 5. So negative 2 times positive 5 is positive 10, keep the x, and then bring down my negative 82. Can I combine like terms? Cover the right side. These cannot combine. The negative 2 does not have an x, while the 10x does, so they are not like terms. And then on my right side, I only have one number, so it can't combine with anything. So I'm on to step 3. I'm on to step 4, move constants to the other side of the equal sign. So I need to move this negative 2 on the same side as the negative 82, because those can combine. And the opposite of a negative 2 is a positive 2. What I do to one side, I do to the other. My 2's cancel out, so I can just bring down my 10x. And negative 82 plus 2 is negative 80, because your negative 82 gets less negative by 2, or moves to the right by 2. So then you end up with 10x equals negative 80. Last step, solve using inverse operation, which is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by 10 because 10x means times. The opposite of times is divide. So you get x equals not just 8, negative 8 divided by 10, negative 8. So this is solving variables on one side with combining like terms, and this one is solving variables with distribution. 19 is both. So this one you're going to end up using all 5 steps. So still start with distribution. I do see parentheses, so I can distribute. There's a small typo. It just says 5 plus 5 in the parentheses. It should say 5x plus 5. So I'm going to distribute my 4. So start there. Do not start combining. Do not start minusing anything. You have to start with distribution if you can. So 4 times 5 is 20. Keep the x. 4 times positive 5 is positive 20, but this one does not have an x. I didn't do anything to the right side of my equation, so I can bring down the 123. And I didn't do anything to the 3, so I can bring down my 3 plus. Second step, combine like terms. So on my right side of my equation, you say, can I combine any of these? Well, yeah, you can combine your constant 3 or your regular 3 with your constant 20. I can do 3 plus 20. 3 plus 20 is 23. There's no other variable with just an x, so I can just bring down my 20x plus. And then once again, there's only one number on the right side, so I will not combine it with anything. Step 4, move variable to one side of the equation. Well, I already have one variable, so I don't have to move it. Move constant to the other. So I want to move this 23 on the same side of that 123. So I'm going to do inverse operation, which is minus 23, minus 23. And I get 20x equals 100, because 123 minus 23 is 100. Final step is solve using inverse operations. So 20x is 20 times x. The opposite of times 20 is divide 20. So I'm going to divide both sides by 20. That finally gets my variable by itself. So x equals 100 divided by 20, which is 5. So 20 goes into 100 5 times. For number 20, we are now starting with questions that have variables on both sides. But I'm still going to follow my 5 steps. So can I distribute? No, I don't see any parentheses. Can I combine like terms? Well, on the left, I have a p and a negative 6. They are not like terms. One has a variable, one doesn't. Same thing on the right side. One has a variable, one doesn't. So I can't do step 2. Step 3, move variables to one side of the equal sign. This time I can do it because I have 2 variables on opposite sides. I usually like to always just get rid of the variable on the right so that I can keep my variables on the left. So to get rid of this negative 6p, I'm going to do plus 6p to both sides. Don't just do plus 6. I will see students do that. It's plus 6p because you're trying to cancel out a negative 6p. And you'll write the plus 6p underneath the other p in your equation. So this is p plus 6p. When p is by itself, it's really 1p. So 1 plus 6 is 7. So 1p plus 6p is 7p. I can bring down my negative 6. So I get 7p minus 6 equals, bring down my 8. The 6's cancel out, so I do not bring down anything there. Step 4, move constants to the other side of the equal sign. So I need to get rid of this minus 6. Well, the opposite of minus 6 is plus 6. So I will add 6 to both sides. You get 7p equals 8 plus 6, which is 14. Last step, solve using inverse operations. So 7p is 7 times p. The opposite of times is divide. So you get p equals 2. And if any point, if I'm going too fast, you can always pause the video so you can copy down the steps. For question 21, I cannot distribute. There are no parentheses. Can I combine like terms? The 7 and 3 cannot combine. Ooh, but I can combine the 1 and the negative 5. So 1 minus 5 is negative 4, and I can bring down my 8n, because there was no other 8n, and nothing combined on the left. Now I have to move my variable from the left, from the right to the left. So I'm going to do minus 8n, minus 8n. I can bring down my equal sign. 7n minus 8n is negative 1n. I didn't do anything to that plus 3, so I can bring it down. My 8's canceled out, so I do not bring it down. You don't have to write down the 0, and I can bring down my negative 4. Now I need to move this constant 3 on the same side as is negative 4. The opposite of a plus 3 is minus 3. So you get negative 1n equals negative 7. Your last step, because n is not by itself, it has a negative 1 being multiplied to it, is dividing by negative 1 on both sides. And negative divided by negative is positive. 7 divided by 1 is 7. Number 22 does have distribution because you see parentheses. So make sure you do that first. You have to go in these steps, and these order of these steps. So I'm going to draw my double arrows. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. 4 times negative 5b, not just 5b. 4 times negative 5 is negative 20. Keep the b. I didn't do anything to the left, so I can bring it down. Step 2, combine like terms. These cannot combine, one has a variable, one doesn't. Similarly, these cannot combine, one has a variable, one doesn't. So instead, I'm going to get my variable from the left to the right. So I'm going to add 20b to both sides, because that is the opposite of a negative 20b. Nothing happened to my negative 40, so I can bring it down. Negative 8 plus 20. You have more positive, so your answer is going to be positive. Another way of looking at this is 20 minus 8, which is 12. Don't forget your b. Equals negative 4. Now I want to cancel out this negative 40, so I'm going to add 40 to both sides. And you get 12b equals negative 40 plus 40, same thing. You can read it as 40 minus 4, which is 36. So I have to undo the 12 times b, so I'm going to divide both sides by 12. And you get b equals 4. Your last question on your review is same thing. You start with distribution. So I have to distribute this 3 that's being multiplied. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. Keep the x. And I can bring down everything else. Next step, can I combine like terms? On the left, no, one has a variable, one doesn't. But on the right, although one has a variable, 2 don't have a variable. So I can combine 15 with a 1. 15 plus 1 is 16, and I can bring everything else down. Step 3, get one variables on the same side. So I'm going to cancel out this minus 9x with a plus 9x. What I do to one side, I must do to the other. So you bring down your 16. Negative 3 plus 9 is positive 6. X, keep the x. And bring down the negative 26. I have to get constants on the same side, so I have to get rid of this negative 26 by adding 26 to both sides. And you get negative 6x equals 16 plus 26 is 42. Finally, you have to undo that times negative 6 by dividing by negative 6. You get x equals to negative 7. So you can see this is the most difficult problems we'll get. You get one of these problems on your test. So if question 23 is very intimidating to you, there's only one of these. So focus on the others. But if you can follow your steps, Same thing. Can I distribute? Can I combine like terms? Can I get variables on the same side? Can I get constants on the other side? Can I solve for my variable? Then you should be good. Don't forget, you can also check your answer by plugging the variable back in. That is the end of this video. So good luck on your test and have a nice day.